You're listening to the Marne Report.
Well, hey, Fort Stewart, Hunter Army Airfield, Molly here with another edition of the Marne Report podcast. And today I have two very special guests with me. I have Garrison Command Sergeant Major for Fort Stewart, Sergeant Major Ellie Capendo. And I've got my girl, short timer, Mrs. Kara Herring, here to talk to me about the Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers program. Thank you both so much for being on the show with me today.
Thank you for having us, Molly.
We're glad to be here, Molly. Thank you.
All right, y'all. So, Kara, I know I have had you on the podcast numerous times.
I'm a podcast regular.
Right? And especially to talk about the BOSS program. But y'all have some updates and just tell me, what would you like to talk about today?
Yeah, absolutely. So the BOSS program, for those that don't know, is our Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers. So this program really focuses on our single soldiers, which would be unmarried, geographical bachelors, and it does also include any single soldier that is a parent. So we focus on programming specific to their needs. It is a unique program that the military has created because they understand that the single soldier has different needs than a married soldier. So we focus specifically on them, on things that would help them in their career, things that help them on their day-to-day life, and most importantly, things that just help morale while they're here.
That's really awesome because I think a lot of times when most people think about the BOSS program, they think about young soldiers only, and it always makes me think about, like, at college, the student union kids.
Yes.
You know, but there's so much more to it than that. I mean, you're saying single parents, geographical bachelors, or bachelorettes, you know?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's excellent. So tell me more.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually just had this conversation today with some senior NCOs who didn't realize that they were part of the program as well. So we do all sorts of different programming, and we do try to gear towards our population. So if we have a large population of senior NCOs, we understand they don't want to do what our E1s through E4s are doing. And that's just the reality of the world. So it's important for us that we program to what their needs are. They're not going to be going out to ghost adventures in downtown Savannah with most of our single soldiers they love. They might be into very different things.
Sure.
So the best thing about our program, I think, is that we provide the opportunity for them to tell us what they like. We have a link tree that anyone can go on and just put suggestions. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm into. And then we do our absolute best to make it happen. And if we can't make it happen, we'll do our absolute best at the very least to try and get them some good discounts so they can go and do it themselves.
That's awesome. So we're talking for the single soldier by the single soldier.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so how does someone go about getting involved in the BOSS program?
Yeah. Absolutely. So there is several ways of that. Obviously, we have our social media. We have Facebook and Instagram, which we know is definitely not the newest forms of technology, but it's the Army. So we got to go with what we can do.
Yep.
But most importantly, we do have a link tree. So if you go on the Army MWR website, it will kind of lead you to all of our different social medias. Obviously, good old email is always great.
Sure.
Telephone. Once we get your information, we will know how to reach out to you. We send out distros. We will send you links through the link tree of different things that you can do. And then most importantly, if you don't want to do any of that, just show up to our BOSS meetings. We have BOSS meetings every first and third Tuesday of the month at 1600 at Club Stewart, and that is open to everybody. It will say BOSS rep meeting, but you don't have to be a rep to be there. That's your absolute best time to get engaged in the program, find out what we do and how we do it, and then that's your time to kind of voice anything that you have. Our Garrison Sergeant Major is almost always in attendance. He's a huge supporter of our BOSS program, and that's a really great place to provide your quality of life issues. We know things pop up all the time, and quality of life is the best way for you to kind of get some of those things resolved that maybe your leadership just doesn't have the tools to, but our Sergeant Major almost always has those tools.
Yeah.
So we love to see him there so that he can kind of interact with the soldiers and explain to them, you know, what can happen on the installation, what can't, and listen to their voice, and maybe they have something new that he doesn't know about.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've talked about all the different programs that the Army has, and BOSS is one of those programs on how we continue to communicate and say, hey, the Better Opportunity for Single Soldiers is a program here that's established. I fully support it. Our team here has an excellent supporting cast, and what we want to do is continue to message that. And we talked about all the different social media outlets that are out there, the flyers that we put up, the billboards. We get it out there so that way soldiers know where they need to go or who they need to talk to. We empower the boss reps within the units. That's from battalion all the way down to companies, and the brigades have their reps just as well. With me and where I sit, I'm going to continue to educate the senior leaders and make sure, hey, boss, you have it in your program. It's part of one of the protective factors that kind of help us with the harmful behaviors. It gives our soldiers opportunities to get out of the barracks. It gives us events for them to do. It really just helps them network. But again, I think the senior leaders that are there, they know about the program, and sometimes it's kind of slipped to the side a little bit, and that's where I'll come in and I'll continue to message, hey, we have the program, we have the resources, it's there. Let's use it and let's let the soldiers have fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is such an awesome program. One thing that you mentioned, Kara, was that the boss meetings are at 4 p.m., right?
Yep.
So that's before the end of the duty day.
Yep.
So soldiers that would like to become part of the boss program, what do they do? I mean, is there anything that they need to do with their leadership in order to make sure that they can be an active participant?
Yep, absolutely. So there's multiple levels within the boss framework. So as Sergeant Major spoke, we have company level reps all the way up to brigade reps. So the first thing that we recommend is you just go to your leadership, your frontline leadership, and say, hey, I want to be involved in boss. I want to represent our unit at boss. And that way they just get their unit permission, because it is during the duty day. They want to know that that's where they're at. And then we will provide them with the forms that they fill out, which is just a command authorization form saying the commander knows you are the boss rep. This is where you're at. That's your place of duty at that time to be at that meeting. And then after that meeting, you go back to your formation and you push out all that information. We understand that the Army is a little behind the times in terms of social media, and that is what it is. So we're going to roll with it. So a lot of what we do will be through word of mouth. So your boss reps are our most important part of our program, and we are always looking for good boss reps.
So for the meetings are typically for just the representatives, or can anybody go?
Absolutely anybody. We encourage leaders to come. That's one of our biggest things. We would love to see some leaders there so they can understand what the program does. As Sergeant Major talked about, this is a preventative program. We're actually a commander's program. We are here to support the command teams. We are a tool in the tool belt for them to use when they're having issues with soldiers within the formation. We can come in and provide additional resources that they don't have. We can provide even something just as simple as getting them out of the barracks does wonders for a soldier. So we have those resources to support the unit leadership. So we would love if the unit leadership would come and support us and see all those things that we can offer to them.
Sergeant Major, do you have anything to add?
The meetings, we talk about the meetings, and I think, like Kara had said, it's open to everybody. I would love to see leadership there. I've had Sergeant Major Reffer there. We've had the MCOM Readiness Sergeant Major there. We've brought the boss from the IDR come down. But more leadership just to kind of get to hey, this is what my boss program can do for my unit. We would like to extend the invite and have them out there.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And also, I think it's so great to have you guys on here talking about this element of the program, because sometimes there's that one lowly soldier that is the voluntold person to be the boss rep, right? And perhaps it's just because people don't understand what boss is and what boss can do. And I think at the end of the day, getting the information out about what this program really is and how incredibly awesome it is, outside of the free or low-cost trips and activities, right? This is a fantastic program. So once people know exactly what it is, you should have people just beating down the doors. No, I want to be the boss rep. No, I do.
Exactly.
And
we're always about a challenge.
Yeah. Can you have multiple reps from one unit?
They will have alternates, and they can both come to the events or the meetings. I'm sorry. And then I think the biggest thing, kind of what you were hinting on, boss is not just recreation. While that is a huge part and it's an awesome part of it, there's 4 pillars for the boss program. And those first 3 pillars are what really make it a commander's program, in that we focus on life skills, we focus on quality of life issues, and we focus on volunteering. The recreation is just one part. So it's 1/4 of the entire program. Not to say it's not the best part, because who doesn't love going to like Dave & Buster's or Universal?
Yeah.
But that's not all that we have to offer. And we offer life skills that soldiers can, if they do choose to get out of the military, they can get out with certification, so they can already start their career. We want to make sure we are empowering soldiers at every step of their way, whether they're getting ready to get out or just got in.
Sure.
That's what our program does, and we can continue to do that with the support of our leaderships.
Yeah, that's incredible. I want everyone to remember that, everyone gets to a new place, right? The military especially. Every couple of years, you're arriving to a new place and having to make new friends. And that is really hard to do. So, getting involved in something like the BOSS program, especially since you now, look, geographical bachelors and bachelorettes, single parents, people that understand your situation, you can come together and find those common grounds and really make some good, solid friendships and build a support group, which is really what BOSS is.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right. This is the type of program that helps avoid those destructive behaviors or the feeling of being alone. And I love it. Yeah. I'm in support. If I were a single soldier, I would be there.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you come to one event and you find your new best friend for life, and you never come back to another BOSS event, we've done our job. At least we have given you somebody, because everybody needs somebody, okay?
Yeah,
we know that. So if we're able to help you find that person that's going to help you get through this, we all know Army life it's tough. It's not easy. Whether you're married, whether you're single, you need a support system. And you're not always guaranteed to find that within your unit, but you are guaranteed you're going to find that in BOSS. There's going to be somebody that is your person, that your like-minded person that gets you through this duty station, and hopefully for life. I mean, I have friends all over the globe from their BOSS program, and I know all of the people who are super involved in BOSS. They have online Facebook groups where they all still, now I know I'm old, I'm dating myself on the Facebook, they're on the Snapchats and all those things, but, they have their groups where they're still talking to each other, years later. Yeah. I just had a soldier come into my office yesterday who started in BOSS 4 years ago as an E4, is now an officer, did green to gold, came back yesterday just to say hi, just because I haven't got to see him in a few years.
Yeah.
And that's something that the BOSS program does, even for me, and I'm definitely not a BOSS soldier. So I can only imagine what it does do for my soldiers and the confidence it gives them, the morale boosting it does. There's just so many great things I could say about the program.
Yeah. So you said earlier we talked about all the great ways to get in touch with you guys and find out more on the interwebs about the program. Certainly the MWR website is great, right? That's stuarthunter.armymwr.com. Now, Sergeant Major, if leadership has a question about the BOSS program, what's the best way to get in contact with you? Just look you up on Global? Or?
Yeah, I would say just look me up on Global and all the other engagements that we have, whether it's through our Brigade Sergeant Majors meetings, Battalion Sergeant Major meetings, just a simple phone call and email, discussions. Come to the meetings. If you come to the meetings, that's an open discussion. And just to really highlight the meetings, I think the best part of it is just when we open it up for discussions. And, Kara talked about the 4 pillars. And I always want to ask, hey, what's some quality of life stuff? And I'm really enjoying it because I want to help these soldiers out. So, coming out there and supporting your reps. I know they're busy. They've got their mission focus, but I can help you and kind of bridge some of the gaps and help you understand the program, along with, of course, like Kara and Sergeant Shannon.
Yeah, I really enjoy what you say about that open discussion forum. Truthfully, we always talk about that here in the Public Affairs Office. We love talking to the soldiers that come in, and we love asking them about their experiences, right? Because what their feedback is going to help us shape the programs and the things that come out of our office and that come out of all of the other directorates, so that part is so incredibly important to make sure that, your voice is being heard, right? Yep. And thank you both so much for being such wonderful advocates for this amazing program. Well, is there anything else that either of you would like to add before we close out?
Well, I do. It's going to be a tough time as we move on from here, because this is Kara's last BOSS podcast with the team. And, I want to take this opportunity because I can't express enough in words how much I appreciate what she did for the program. She's going to move on. She's moving up to IDR BOSS, so I'm
not leaving the program.
She's
I love BOSS,
leaving
guys.
the program, but we are surely going to miss her here on Stuart and Hunter. So, Kara, on behalf of Colonel Mark Austin and myself, and really all the leaders here, I just want to say thank you for all that you did for our soldiers and the BOSS program, okay? We're going to miss you. I love your Bills because you're a Bills
fan.
Go Bills! But I wish you the best. And I know we're still going to continue to stay connected. So, Kara,
Yes.
I wish you the best. And I'm also going to take this opportunity to say thank you to Sergeant Chandler.
Yes.
We are going to miss you. I know how much work you've put into the program, from getting all the volunteers, just everything. I mean, from all the successful events. Sergeant Chandler, I know you're going to listen. Thank you for what you do. And Kara, we're going to miss you.
Aw,
Okay.
thank you.
Kara.
Trust me, I'm going to miss this place so much. But as you know, I love this boss program. Clearly, I'm super passionate about it. So I would never leave it. I'm just going to try and help affect change in multiple garrisons at this point instead of just here at Fort Stewart. So I am definitely not far away. And if anyone has any boss-related needs or anything, honestly, I'm still on global. I'm still going to be part of the MWR world, just trying to kind of expand my reach in the boss program and try and help a few more programs get to where our Fort Stewart program's gotten to.
Well, I tell you, I mean, those other garrisons are just incredibly fortunate to have just even a tiny bit of Kara, because everyone on this installation knows what it's like to have you, and just you're an absolute gem. You truly, I echo everything that Sergeant Major said. You're going to be missed. But congratulations.
No, thank you. I'm so excited.
We cannot wait for you to visit us and check back in about your new adventure. All right, everybody. Well, that does it for this week's edition of the Marne Report podcast. I am Molly, and that is Sergeant Major Capindo, and that is the Kara Herring. And we are signing off.
Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield visitors are now eligible to pre-register for visitor passes online through the Army's AIE secure web portal. Simply visit pass.aie.army.mil and follow the steps to submit your info. If all checks are cleared, the visitor will receive a custom text message with pass approval notifications, as well as a pass start and end dates. The visitor can pick up their pass from the Visitor Control Center through one of the self-service kiosks or use his or her driver's license for access.